According to legend, the elderly man once used only a spoon and a toothache to wipe out an entire battalion. When the Galactic mercenaries pulled him off his stool at the noodle cart, he just reached for his partially consumed dumpling, saying, "I paid for that." "A kid watching from the alley?" asked her mom. He muttered just before they stabbed him in the ribcage. The Mercs chuckled. The elderly guy drooled. "Why are they arresting a janitor?" 3 days after the galaxy tuned in, he stood in the middle of the obsidian arena, blinking at the flashing lights like a bewildered grandfather who had wandered onto a rave stage from the wastelands of mud and dementia. The announcer's voice boomed through the top rings of the stadium, hovering around him like flies on roadkill. The cameras displayed the relic, wearing a worn-out eye patch that looked like it was holding his head together. A filthy pair of boots, an afraid duster, blade vulture. The current arena champion, a 7-foot-tall walking slab of metal, gleamed beside him. Oozing confidence and expired glue, his armor shimmered. His Vero axes hummed. He struck a pose as he landed with a crash that split the earth. The audience laughed. "Did you wander in here looking for the restroom, Grandpa?" One camera zoomed in as the elderly man scratched his backside and yawned. He squinted up at Blade Vulture. "Are you my nurse?" People expected a massacre when he cracked his knuckles and charged. They weren't ready for what came next. The old man moved like a lightning-dipped ghost. He dodged the initial strike, then delivered a backward kick that popped Blade's knee, whirling. He snatched a broken drone wing from the dirt and jammed it into the champion's joint. Blade screamed and dropped. The old man sighed, removed the eye patch, and lunged. Silence fell. Even as the synth Apara from Sector 12 faltered into quiet. Where his right eye should have been was a red orb, pulsing, spinning, ancient, and wrong. Drones short-circuited mitter. Explosions followed. Slay TV cut the feed to black, but too late. Ratings spiked beyond anything since the legendary Sly Core insurrection of '89. When the feed returned, Blade Vulture was gone. Nobody. Only melted synthetic flesh and scattered armor. The audience didn't cheer. They stared. The old man was already walking away. Arena A-High shrieked. Security turrets dropped. Stun rays fired. He raised one finger, twirled it. The turrets in the executive suite exploded. Like guilty schoolchildren. In Slay TV's orbiting HQ, a programming director dropped her coffee. "You're not going to believe who we just aired," her aide whispered. The slow-motion replay showed him removing the eye patch. She murmured, "He died. We buried him." Backstage, the arena handlers trembled. "He buried us," one said, hand shaking. Meanwhile, the old man sat on a bench, nibbling what might have been someone else's protein bar. A handler stammered, "We've got more." Entertainment lined up. "Please wait in holding." "All right," he said, kissing his fingers. "I haven't had a good fight since Neptune. Though this bar tastes like sand and betrayal." As conspiracy channels went live, memes flooded the net. Grandpa Goes God. Some claimed his eye was an ancient alien relic. Others said he was a glitch in the simulation, but a few silent veterans reached for long dormant comes, encrypted signals, pinned into the black. Call signs that hadn't echoed in 20 years lit up like ghosts. Meanwhile, in a shadowy cell, the old man hummed a lullaby. A red camera blinked. He looked up, smiled, and flipped it off. On the moon of Kiss, a retired general received the signal. He opened a drawer sealed for 15 years. Inside, a brass plate, a broken dog tag, and a single word, Reaper. Alarms rang in the Solar Tribunal. 12 council members gasped. "He's alive," one muttered. "Kill the stream," barked another. "It's too late," said the youngest. In his cell, the old man whispered, "They should have let me die in peace." The eye patch lay beside him. He traced it with his fingers, but they had to wake up the Reaper. Above, a bounty drone lit up. Wanted, call sign, Reaper, alive or dead. 1 billion credits. The arena was the spark. The galaxy would burn, this time. He wasn't starting a war, he was ending one. Once more, quicker this time. Its claws cut through a tower like butter. Reaper scaled a neighboring ledge to lure the beast. When it lunged, he dropped behind it, triggering an ancient defense turret still linked to a dusty control panel. With one precise kick, the turret came to life. The sim system's guns roared. The turret tore into the beast's flank, sparks flying as it screamed and staggered. Then, with a twist of fate, the creature's own weight forced a broken blade deep into an exposed access port. It jerked once, then crashed face first into the concrete, 8 more to go. But they were becoming more coordinated. A bullet struck his leg. Reaper grunted. The pain was sharp, blinding. Blood poured down his thigh as the Mercs regrouped, laying down suppressing fire. He limped to cover, breathing heavy, caught in overlapping crossfire zones. They had stopped relying on brute strength. Now they were boxing him in from above. The sky shimmered. Reaper chuckled, sweetly. A cargo drone swooped in, dropping a crate stamped Merchant Arena Exclusive. The lid opened with a hiss. Steam rose. Inside? His favorite noodles. Real noodles. He blinked once, twice, then reached in. Grabbed the carton and took a loud slurp. The Mercs paused, confused. Reaper looked up, mid-bite, and smiled, then came. The next surprise. A trio of gladiators entered the zone, unannounced. One was a former Coalition shock trooper. Another, a cyborg. The third, a ruined Royal Guard armor draped over a railgun for an armed retired combatants, off the books. Back. In the fray. The crowd gasped. The ratings surged, chaos erupted, and Reaper didn't flinch. He wiped his mouth, tossed the empty carton, and dove in. It was a bloodbath. Steel crashed, bones cracked. He ripped a battery from a downed bot, overcharged it, and clubbed a shield wall until it exploded mid-air. The final MK tried to surrender. Reaper handed him the empty noodle box instead. Hold on to that. It's history now. In the control room, Mevicadran smiled. He's not just fighting, she whispered. He's building an army. The tribunal agent beside her didn't blink. He was frozen, terrified. Down in the arena, Reaper stood among the ruin, his coat torn, blood on his face. Around him, prisoners turned warriors. Now free, he looked up, aware that every camera in the galaxy was fixed on him, his voice steady. Your entertainment is over, he murmured. Your lies are your blood, your sports, your control ends now. Pause. Then the galaxy clapped. Some swore. Some sobbed. Some just whispered his name. Reaper. He hadn't just lived. He had lit a spark. Made others believe they could live too. Empires shattered. The arena, once a polished showpiece, was now smoke and broken illusions. The simulation grid flickered. Unable to keep pace? The stream, meant to be delayed and edited, was fully live, all of it, across the galaxy. They watched as Reaper broke their game. He stood alone, coat in shreds, bleeding from a wire tourniquet. Breathing shallow. The renegade gladiators surrounded him, tense, waiting for another threat, but these were no longer survivors. They were believers. Above, Ardenvel watched. Cross-armed, quiet, something had changed. Reaper wasn't just breaking systems anymore. He was changing people, and someone else had taken control of the stream. Soda bite, behind a cracked console, fingers dancing. She had rerouted feeds through junk servers and piggybacked on a private satellite. One girl. Total control. She whispered, not hacking, storytelling. But in the deepest vaults of the tribunal, beneath the maps, where no light reached, 3 Solar Council members stared at a floating humanoid figure in a crimson tank. Unit 13, a failure. A backup, not a clone. Not a machine, something else. Reaper is destabilizing, a council member muttered. We released 13, the failsafe awoke, no fanfare, no ceremony. Just glowing, icy blue eyes, the tank shattered. It stepped out. It didn't wait for commands. It had one instruction, eliminate the Reaper. Back in the arena, Reaper leaned on a ruined pillar, wiping his blade with someone's uniform. Around him, the gladiators patched wounds, quiet, watching. Tumbio approached, datapad in hand. We have a traitor, he said. Reaper didn't flinch. He took the pad, flipped through logs, positions, pulse spikes, signal surges. It was clear. Someone had been tracking them. Ash met his eyes. They took my brother, she said. I didn't know who you were until now. Her voice cracked. I'm sorry, Reaper nodded, handed back the pad. No shouting, no fury. Just a long, silent walk. Ardenvel watched from above. It was the same look Reaper had before burning. A planet's atmosphere to keep it from enemy hands, not betrayal. A decision. Night fell on the ruins. Broadcast lights buzzed. Drones circled like hornets. Arden approached. "You're going to kill her," she whispered. Reaper nodded. No. He said, "She decide if she lives." Then he looked to the sky. They're coming. Above, something moved. No heat signature. No registration code. Just a black dot, descending. Unit 13, silent. No lights. No roar. It landed like a priest giving last rites. Its armor shimmered, its face smooth. No mouth, no eyes. Just a curved, perfect plate. Made to outthink, outfight, outlast Reaper. But it didn't know pain, didn't know failure. Didn't know what made Reaper human. The team braced. Varric flexed. Tombo whispered a prayer. Ash stood among them. Traitor turned ally. Then the sound came, not through ears, through minds. CALLSIGN. Reaper, function, terminated, submit. Reaper cracked his neck. Function, he growled, is just another word for leash? He lunged. The fight wasn't clean, it wasn't elegant. It was war. Unit 13 fought with mirrored perfection. Every block, every strike, programmed, predictable, efficient, but Reaper, he fought like a ghost. Dirty, desperate, real. Then an opening. Ash, half-conscious, hurled something. An old weapon. A toy from before the war. A relic, the cleaver. Reaper caught it mid-charge. Unit 13 adapted. Too late, the blade ignited. Clean, bright, ancient. The strike hit home. Through armor, through bone, sparks erupted. The perfect machine. GLITCHED. It staggered back. Error. Function. Reaper didn't stop.